Can you balance board the frog with no thumb like this? I'll tell you how to do this and talk about why it's important that you can do this. So here's how to do it. First, you place the bow at the frog, very frog, over D string, A string, both. I think that would be the easiest. Okay, and you place the bow flat. Don't tilt it. Okay, for now just keep it flat at the frog, and then place all four fingers from the top of your bow. And when you do this, make sure your second finger is touching the bow between the top and the middle knuckles, the fleshy part of your finger where the bow should be touching. Okay, not here, but more like here. Okay, so place the four fingers from the top kind of straight for now. Okay, I know this is not how you hold the bow, but try this like this. Okay, so kind of straight, and watch where the second finger touches the bow, and there you go. That's all you need to do. See, you should be able to balance the bow like this. Okay, so once you can do this, then try to bend your fingers like you would normally hold the bow, and you probably would feel better doing this than when it was all straight. Okay, and once you can do this, the next thing you can do is to start tilting the bow. So now, see, right now you're both set straight, flat, right? Now we're going to tilt the bow this way, inward. So again, place your four fingers on top of your bow with no thumb still, and then start tilting the bow. Now here's one thing you really need to think about and do correctly, and that is to think about how the angle should go from your arm onto the strings through the bow. In other words, see, when the bow was set flat, you just had to put the weight from the top of your bow straight down, right, to the hair of the bow. Now, when your bow's tilted though, you shouldn't put the weight straight down this way, because you'll be wasting a lot of power, and with no thumb you won't be able to hold the bow up on the strings anyway. You're going to drop the bow. So what you have to do is, now the bow's tilted, you need to change the angle of your weight going into the bow as well. And basically you always have to put the weight to the middle of the bow hair, the middle, like this middle. Okay, this is the whole width of the hair, and you just go to the middle of the hair. So if the bow's set flat, then you just go straight down. When your bow's tilted this way, then you put the weight a little bit more towards this way, okay, instead of straight down like that. So let's try this one more time, right? Start flat. When you can place your bow flat like this with no thumb, start tilting the bow, and as you tilt it, change the angle of the weight going into the bow towards the middle of the hair like this. Okay, so once you can do that, then put your thumb back on the bow, and you should feel pretty good about this. Okay, and let's talk about why this is important. Okay, tone production is one of the most important things, right? We have to practice to play the violin well. And a lot of tone production has to do with how you use your weight from your arm onto the strings, right? So our goal is to produce a nice sound without forcing it, without using a lot of muscles, and without getting stiff and things like that. You want to be natural. You don't want to be forcing it, okay? So that means you need to learn how to use this weight coming from your arm naturally onto the bow. Now, if you are feeling the weight coming from the top of your bow, going to the middle of the hair, you're using all this weight that you could be using onto the bow. But then if you're adding the weight instead of from the top, if you're adding the weight from the side of your bow, like here, so if you hold the bow more from the side with your fingertips like this, and if this is the main part of the weight that's coming from then you're pushing more towards this way than this way, right? And you're wasting a lot of power that way, because all the power that goes this way doesn't really go anywhere, because the weight needs to go down onto the strings through the hair. So you want to go more this way rather than this way, see? And that's why we need to practice this exercise so you understand the concept of how the weight should go from your arm onto the bow. Okay, and then eventually when you tilt it, you can still adjust the angle of the weight going from your arm to the strings. Okay, so again, see, you can touch the side of the bow, that's okay. Some people do, some people don't. It really doesn't matter to me. What's important is that this is not the main contact, okay, from your hand or fingers to the bow. It's always the top, or kind of top, kind of side, sort of in the middle, I guess. Okay, that would be the main contact point. And from there, if your fingertips touch, that's fine. If you don't, that's okay too. Okay, so once you understand that weight transferred from your arm onto the bow, then eventually you learn how to use the weight effectively to get a nice sound, full sound, okay, without forcing it. And that's why we need to learn how to do this and understand how you should be able to do this. Okay. So I hope this helps. Yep, well, thanks for watching today, and I'll see you next time.